with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good morning on your Wednesday. I'm Mark Saul today. Let's get to a check of some of the stories we're following here at Erie News Now. Beginning out in the Pacific Northwest, police in Portland, Oregon say events there meant to commemorate the passing of 1 year since the death of George Floyd devolved into a riot overnight. A group of demonstrators had gathered outside of the Justice Center in Portland, Oregon for some planned events, again connected to George Floyd's death in Minnesota last May. But it all spiraled out of control in fairly short order. About an hour after the whole thing started, fireworks were set off, and then contents of a dumpster were lit on fire, and that dumpster was pushed fairly close to the Justice Center building. That led police to declare the whole thing an unlawful assembly. That's when folks started marching to Portland City Hall, broke some windows along the way. Police say water bottles and eggs were thrown at them. They declared the entire thing a riot and ordered the crowd to disperse. A crowd gathered in Erie last night, peacefully remembering George Floyd's life and calling for police reforms. Upwards of 100 people made their way to downtown Erie's Perry Square Tuesday. The vigil organized by the local group Erie Action. They lit candles, held up Black Lives Matter signs, and talked about what George Floyd's death has meant to the country. The group also held a 9-minute-long moment of silence. The amount of time now convicted and former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck last May. Former President Donald Trump says he's prepared to fight back after a report in the Washington Post claims the criminal investigation into the former president's moved into a new phase. The Post is reporting that a special grand jury has been convened to hear evidence against the Trump organization. They'll reportedly hear evidence in a bunch of cases, actually. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has yet to confirm these Washington Post reports, but for the past 2 years, that Manhattan DA's office has been investigating several allegations against the Trump organization. The list includes allegedly falsifying business records along with insurance fraud and tax fraud. The former president did release a statement shortly after that Post report surfaced, calling it all, quote, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in American history. Well, down in Crawford County, authorities are investigating the drowning death of a man near Townville. This is all according to a report in the Meadville Tribune. The victim is identified as a 44-year-old James Warden of Centerville. Coroner says Warden was swimming by himself in a backyard pond, basically right off Trionville Road. This was on Monday. Eventually, he was reported missing. Search crews went in, spent Monday night, part of Tuesday, looking through that water, eventually recovering Warden's body on Tuesday. His death has been ruled accidental. And the Erie Humane Society this morning investigating a case of animal cruelty. They're also calling it a case of hoarding. They say they found dozens of animals all locked in cages inside of a home on Erie's east side. Animal cruelty officers brought some 30 dogs, maybe 15 or so cats out from inside of a home along Lighthouse Street in the city Tuesday. And they described the condition of that home's inside to Erie News Now.
They're horrific. I mean, completely unsanitary, and no room to walk. A lot of them are just living in crates and being fed their food through a crate. They're just caked in feces. There's pounds and pounds of feces. Urine throughout the entire house. So, it's terrible.
And Humane Society vets are now in the process of evaluating these animals, getting them all back up, hopefully, to 100% shape. And they say the woman who lives at that Lighthouse Street home actually was charged with animal cruelty for a similar situation more than 10 years ago. All right, we're heading into the final few days of what was obviously a difficult school year for a lot of students. Virtual learning, in-person learning, sometimes both within the same couple of days. So what's the school year going to look like when fall arrives? Erie News Now's Molly Samora reports.
At Mill Creek School District, they're hoping for the best when it comes to what the school year will look like next fall. But like last year, a lot of those decisions are going to happen this summer, as they see what happens over the next few months with the coronavirus. Parents may be wondering if their student will be in class full-time, or if they have the option to do remote learning. Those questions are still in the works right now. Principal Fuller tells me his hopes are to have students back in the classroom full-time.
There could be some pivoting again for next year. Our hopes are that we're back 5 days in person, no mask, no desk shields, and we're back to normal education and doing what we do best. Can I guarantee that at this point? No, I can't, but that's what we're pushing for and that's what we're hoping for.
Our Molly Samora reporting there. We're going to see some rain, David, already this morning, and that's something that has been relatively rare during this month of May.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any substantial rain until going all the way back to Mother's Day. That's the last time we really saw the rain here in Erie, so it was certainly a welcome sight as we did get some of those showers through. Right now it is pretty quiet out there. We're trying to dry things out before we get into the afternoon when more of those storms are expected. 75 degrees, temperatures heading back up. We have a southwesterly wind, and with the rain, it has increased those humidity levels that dew point now into the middle 60s, so it feels a bit steamy out there. But there go those showers from a little bit earlier, and right now all we're really seeing is a little bit of rain heading on into western portions of Warren County. Nothing severe, but we do certainly have some of those pockets of heavier rain showers. You can see FutureCast kind of emulating the atmosphere fairly well right now, and then you can see once we get later on this morning and then into the afternoon, that is when we start to see more of those scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, the good thing about the rain that worked up the lakeshore this morning is that it kind of stabilized the atmosphere. So I'm thinking during the afternoon, any of those more potent storms have the potential being down there in Crawford County, over towards Warren and McKean County. Don't think we're going to see anything really too significant closer to the lakeshore, but even for the area as a whole, not really expecting any widespread severe weather. A storm or two could contain those gusty winds and even a little bit of isolated hail. You can see the cold front, that's it. That's all we see on radar. That's at least what FutureCast is showing as we get into the night. That cold front moves on through, and it certainly will clear skies out. We've got some cooler weather in store for your Thursday, but yeah, things looking pretty good overall. Right now, temperatures are still fairly warm. We're a little rain cooled out there into Corey and Clymer, at least around that area. We are certainly seeing some of those showers, and the dew point levels have gone up, and you're certainly noticing it out there. It is a bit steamy thanks to those rain showers that have moved on through. In terms of the risk for severe weather, it has actually gone down just a little bit for the lakeshore, but inland areas do have the best chance at seeing some of those heavier storms this afternoon. You can actually see that green stripe right along the lakeshore, still on the low end of the severe weather scale, so can't totally rule that out, but you can see those areas shaded in the yellow have that chance for maybe those winds up to about 60, 65 miles per hour, even some isolated hail. Certainly heavy rain is going to be the greatest possibility, and those storms look more likely to be stronger between about 1 and 5. And again, you can see the overall impacts. Your weather impact index today will be at a 1. Relatively quiet for a lot of us. Obviously, we have seen a little bit of rain this morning, but it gets a bit more active later this morning and then into the afternoon. All right, we're going to talk about the 7-day in just one moment.
All right, thank you, David. Leaders of Crawford County's Conneaut Lake Park say they won't be ready to open up that amusement park, at least not for the coming Memorial Day weekend. They're targeting now 4th of July weekend for the season opening down at Conneaut Lake Park. A new owner just took over after paying over $1 million for the park earlier this year. And Erie News Now in the past couple of weeks has detailed that new owner's efforts to try and make some improvements to the park. CLP leaders also say one of their more nostalgic rides, that Tumblebug, is not going to be coming back, just not repairable. But again, July 4th weekend now, the new target date for opening things up at Conneaut Lake Park. On another side, the nation's rounding the corner when it comes to the coronavirus fight. The NFL says most of its teams will be able to have full stadiums this coming season. The league expects teams will be hosting fans at training camps as well this coming summer, and they're working on the plans to make that happen safely, they say. An NFL spokesman says as of now, 30 out of 32 teams will be able to have those full NFL stadiums. The league working with those teams on protocols for mask wearing and vaccination requirements. Well, tonight's the night we're expecting to learn who could be the first winners in what Ohio state officials are calling the Buckeye State's Vax-A-Million lottery. Yeah, one lucky adult going to win $1 million tonight. A lucky teenager going to get a full ride scholarship to a state university in Ohio, all just for getting vaccinated. State health officials say they have seen a big increase in the number of people wanting to get that shot since this vaccine-connected lottery was announced, and they have actually 4 more of these lottery drawings planned. They say they'll continue right through the end of June.
I'll be up in a second.
All right, David's working his way over, working on that 7-day forecast. It's got that holiday weekend forecast in it and kind of a drop in those temperatures. A precipitous, I guess would be the word, drop from at least Wednesday into Friday. David.
Yeah, temperatures coming down into the 50s as we get towards Friday, and we will have some periods of rain out there. I was actually going to show you some video of the rain that came on through Erie a little bit longer. I thought about last second, and so I was trying to import it into the computer, and you know how that goes. By the weekend, we've got a few of those scattered showers on Saturday. Temperatures working their way back up, but it's a slow process. We're still kind of cool on Sunday, and then Memorial Day Monday. It's looking pretty good, 72 degrees. Not too bad for a good chunk of the weekend. I think Saturday will still feature some of those scattered rain showers around, but if you have those backyard barbecues planned, I know some folks are thinking about opening up the pool. Yeah, still may be a little cool for that, but it is at least looking a little bit better than what we will see over the next couple of days. Really, the only exception is going to be Thursday. But I can tell you what, a lot of folks, there's a lot of people that are much happier that we're seeing the rain rather than those who are unhappy.
It looks like as we get into the weekend as well. All right, thank you, David. Thank you for jumping on Facebook. We'll do this about the same time again tomorrow. And we've got a half hour's worth of news coming your way at noon on WSEE. Erie News Now Sunrise starts at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. We will see you then.